Hello. Before I get into this video, I just wanted to take a minute to talk about everything that is going on right now in the world. Honestly, it breaks my heart every time I go on like the internet or every time I think about it. It's just horrible. It's absolutely horrible that people have to protest for basic human rights, and it just makes me so angry the way the people in charge of the country are handling it rather than listening to what people have to say. He's responding with violence, and coming from the person that's supposed to be in charge. I'm not normally the sort of person to get political or share my thoughts online. I've never really been the sort of person that likes to get into arguments with people or debates. I have a lot of thoughts on these sort of things, but I always just keep them to myself or talk about them with my friends and family. But I feel like right now is the time to talk about it, and it's such an important thing to talk about because it's so important to bring up these topics and talk about them and try and change people's perspectives. The fact that people are so against these protests, the fact that people are against the Black Lives Matter movement, it just makes me so angry. How can you be against something that is a basic human right? We are all people. Yeah, we have different cultures, different religions, our skin is a different colour, but at the end of the day we're still people. We're all still people. We live on this earth. We all bleed. We all bleed the same colour. It makes me so angry that people, white people, feel that they're either superior or maybe they just don't like coloured people or they fear them, and it's like, how can anybody honestly go on like that? I just, oh my god, it makes me so angry. It makes me so angry. All my life I've lived in a tiny small town in Scotland, and yeah, it's a white neighbourhood. It is completely, for as long as I was living here as a child, it was basically completely white. We have a couple of black families now live here. They moved into the area, but it's very minimal. The ratio is mostly white people with like a very small handful. Like there only is about like 1,000 people live in this town, if even that. So I have grown up surrounded by white people. I am a white person, but that doesn't mean that in the slightest that I have some sort of fear of black people. When I did come face to face with people of colour for the first time in my life, I wasn't afraid. I didn't think I was better than them, and it just makes me so angry that people who maybe grow up surrounded by black people and Asian people and anybody that's not like them, how they can just treat them so differently. I feel like this conversation should have been had a long time ago, and it has. This conversation has been going on for years, but we should have been paying attention more. People like me who haven't really been very vocal should speak up more. So I'm sending lots of love to all the people in America and across the world who are protesting. Even the slightest thing to help. You can donate, you can sign petitions, you can speak to your local politicians, councillors, bring it up with them. Vote that man out of the country. It's not even my country, but vote him out. I'm so sick and tired of people being treated differently. And for what? Because they have a different skin colour? It shouldn't still be happening. Racism, police brutality against people of colour. It's just, it makes me so angry. It makes me sad. So I will leave a link down below for petitions, ways that you can help. Even the slightest thing could just make a difference in the long run. I saw a post on Instagram that I really liked. Though I may not ever understand, I will stand with you. Be kind to black people and other minorities. Don't be racist. Maybe one day we could change the world for our kids and our grandkids, when really the world should have been changed for us. My generation, the generation before me. But I'm so proud of everybody out there for protesting, for making their voices heard. And hopefully one day, hopefully soon, the people in power, the people with the power to make differences, will actually listen. And maybe things will change. But until then, never stop. Never stop fighting. Never stop speaking up. And if you're like me, a white girl, never be silent. Silence is compliance. Staying silent doesn't help anybody. If we all stayed silent, nothing would change. Nothing would happen. So don't be silent. Even if you're like me and you live in a tiny small town, you could still make a difference. The internet is so vast. You could reach anybody with a single tweet. So speak up and make your voice heard. maybe one day the world will change for the better. Also, I hope everybody's staying very safe from the coronavirus, which is also still a big threat out there. God, what is 2020? What has 2020 been? 2020 has just been one thing after the other. Let's hope for a better world, COVID-free and racism-free. Okay, so it almost feels really weird now to be doing this. I was gonna film this video the other day, although I started to film it, but in all honesty, it was such a hot day. I was really hot. I came inside to see my package and I was like quickly doing it, and I ended up with like a 4-minute video of me unboxing everything, and I never really spoke about any of it, and I thought, oh no, it's a lot cooler today. I've actually got a jumper on. I figured I will do this again, but I will insert a clip of me unboxing or opening the box. Oh my gosh. I just got a package. Oh my god, that's a lot of books. That's a lot of books. This is my box of goodies. It fitted just perfectly. Look at that. That's perfection. I don't know an awful lot about these books that I bought. I was just trying to find books to buy to get free delivery. So at the end I was just kind of picking up anything. But I'll read the backs to you of each one. I'll read you the plot summary. First up, oh, you trying to burst out? Trying to burst free? First up, I bought the Noughts and Crosses set. I recently saw that the BBC did a drama series on this, and I don't even know what it's about. I love that. I love like getting like a complete set like this, and it was only £8. £8! In a world where noughts and crosses can never be together, somehow two star-crossed lovers find each other. But this is a love story that will lead them both into terrible danger, and which will have shocking repercussions for generations to come. Wow, the recommended retail price for this is £31.96. I paid £8. Not suitable for younger readers. So I'm very excited to read these. I don't know much of what they're about, but I love the cover. I love that. I love black books with just very simplistic covers. That's always my favourite. I feel there's something so elegant about it. £8. Next up we have Vanity Fair. I paid £3 for this. £3. Two young women, Becky Sharp and Amelia Sedley, is that Sedley? Leave Miss Pinkerton's academy together. They are friends, yet the witty and flirtatious Becky looks set to outdo the passive, sweet-natured Amelia with her ruthless determination to grab what she can in life, and so all kinds of battles and fortunes are won and lost against a backdrop of the Napoleonic Wars. Thackeray's satire on corruption at every level of English society is rightly subtitled A Novel Without a Hero, since none of its characters have improved themselves by the end. Oh, spoiler. However, it was a success from its first appearance in 1847 and remains one of the greatest comic novels. Alrighty then, so we have no hero. That basically just told me that everybody is shit at the start and they're shit at the end. We love shitty human beings. Okay, what do we have next? Next up, I have Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. I wonder if there's pictures in this. There is pictures. I am excited. I have never read Alice in Wonderland before, or Alice Through the Looking Glass, so I'm very excited to read that. Follow Alice as she ventures down a rabbit hole and into Wonderland, a world filled with unforgettable characters such as the March Hare, the Mad Hatter, the Cheshire Cat, and the Queen of Hearts. Then enter a topsy-turvy universe on the other side of the looking glass, where Alice encounters old and new friends, including Humpty Dumpty and Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I am very excited to read this. I've never read Alice in Wonderland before, or Alice Through the Looking Glass. I have seen the movies though. Continuing with the classics, I got Dracula. I paid £3 for this as well. I paid £3 for all the classics, but I paid £3 for this as well. I've never read Dracula. I've only seen some movies, I think. Have I? Not really. I don't think so. Dracula, 1897, begins with a young solicitor, Jonathan Harker, on his way to Transylvania to meet Count Dracula, who is buying property in London. Harker endures a nightmare stay at Dracula's castle, which foreshadows some bizarre events in England. First, a huge wolf-like creature is seen to leap from the deck of a Russian ship, which has run aground on the shores of Whitby, its captain dead at the helm, and its crew mysteriously absent. And then Lucy, a friend of Harker's fiancée, Mina, develops a strange wasting disease and red marks on her throat. Vampire expert Professor Van Helsing convinces Harker and his friends that if Mina is not to share the same fate as poor undead Lucy, Dracula must be caught and ritually killed. We love a vampire novel. Then, also going down the classic line, I bought Jane Eyre. I paid £3 for this as well. Jane Eyre rightly remains high on the list of the most popular English novels and brought fame to its author Charlotte Bronte on its publication in 1847. The story's heroine, Jane, is a plain and plain-speaking orphan whose determination, good nature and spirit sees her through a series of personal ordeals from an early age. When she takes up a position as governess at Thornfield Hall to teach 8-year-old Adele, she is resigned to an uneventful career. But then the moody, charismatic owner of Thornfield, Edward Rochester, makes a rare visit to the hall, and Jane's impassive self-respect and moral conviction are tested to breaking point. Wow, I bought so many books. Next we move on to, most of these are thrillers I think, but it was a section they do where they do 3 books for £5 or they're £2 each. So I bought 6. I bought 6, as you do. I bought Magpie by Sophie Draper. I didn't realise until after I bought this that I read another book by Sophie Draper called Cuckoo, and I did a review on it and I didn't particularly like it all that much. No, it's not that I didn't like it, I think it was okay. I'm a little cautious now. I'm going in with an open mind, but I'm a little cautious. Did I whistle? Cautious. I've never done that before in my life. She's married to him, but does she know him at all? Claire lives with her family in a beautiful house overlooking the water, but she feels as if she's married to a stranger, one who is leading a double life. As soon as she can get their son Joe away from him, she's determined to leave Duncan. But finding out the truth about Duncan's secret life leads to consequences Claire never planned for. Now Joe is missing, and she's struggling to piece together the events of the night that tore them all apart. Alone in an isolated cottage, hiding from Duncan, Claire tries to unravel the lies they've told each other and themselves. Something happened to her family, but can she face the truth? Next we have A Stranger on the Beach. I thought that's so pretty. I love the gold lettering. I just wish that was a capital A. It looks very pretty. It's pretty. It meant nothing to him and everything to her. Caroline had everything. The gorgeous beach house built for holidays and parties, a seemingly happy marriage. But when she discovers her husband has been lying to her, she turns to a handsome stranger for comfort and revenge, a brief, reckless affair that was meant to be fun, but soon becomes something much more sinister. As Caroline's marriage and wealthy lifestyle begin to crumble, so her lover's obsession grows. He's in her life, in her house, and among her friends, and his infatuation is growing more destructive. And when Caroline's husband goes missing, Caroline finds herself accused of murder. But what is she hiding? Oh, I didn't read that. I didn't read that when I bought this. I thought I read something different. Oh, that sounds intense. That sounds intense. Then we have, I thought this cover was really pretty, All the Beloved Ghosts by Alice MacLeod. I just had like I totally forgot how to read that name. I had like a moment there. I forgot how to read that last name, and then I was staring at it and I was like, wait, ain't that the surname of my ex-boyfriend? And then I couldn't pronounce it, and then my mind went blank because I couldn't think what his surname was. Yeah, MacLeod. Yeah, it's MacLeod. I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. I just had this moment. I was like, how do you pronounce that? And then I was like, wait a minute, ain't that my ex-boyfriend's surname? Why can't I pronounce that? I must have buried it deep in my mind. Hovering on the border of life and death, these stories form a ground-shifting collection, taking us into history, literature, and the hidden lives of iconic figures. In 1920s Nova Scotia, a woman emerges from mourning and wears a new fur coat to a dance that will change everything. A teenager searches for his lover on a charged summer evening in 2011 as around him London erupts in anger. On a trip to Brighton, reluctant jihadists, I can't pronounce that, I'm sorry, face the ultimate test. And at Charleston, Angelica Garnett, child of the Bloomsbury group, is overcome by all the beloved ghosts that sprinkle to life before her eyes. I think this sounds very interesting. It's definitely something I've ever read before, and I thought the cover just caught my eye. It was really pretty. We love a yellow book. Next up, so after I put in my order for my books, I was scrolling through Instagram, as you do, and I saw somebody leave a review for this next book that I'm going to talk about, and they did not have good things to say about it, and I was like, oh no, what have I done? It's called Vox by Christina, oh god, I can't pronounce that surname either, Dalker? 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 Vox. Silence can be deafening. When I first read the summary, I was like, oh, this kind of reminds me of The Handmaid's Tale. Just a little. Just the kind of dystopian world. And then the review that this person on Instagram left said it kind of was bordering on The Handmaid's Tale a little bit. And I was like, oh no. Oh no. Jean McClellan spends, I think that's McClellan. Jean McClellan spends her time in almost complete silence, limited to just 100 words a day. Any more and 1,000 volts of electricity will course through her veins. Now the new government is in power, everything has changed, but only if you're a woman. Great. Almost overnight, bank accounts are frozen, passports are taken away, and 70 million women lose their jobs. Even more terrifyingly, young girls are no longer taught to read or write. For herself, her daughter, and for every woman silenced, Jean will reclaim her voice. This is only the beginning. Oh, look at that. 100 word limit reached. That's pretty clever. When I read this, I thought, okay, you know what, I'd seen it a few times cropping up on the book site that I was on, and I figured I would give it a go. I'm not really a dystopian kind of person. I've read The Hunger Games, I've read The Handmaid's Tale, but it's not my favourite genre to read. But I figured I would give it a go. But now that I've read that it's a bit bland, it's a bit dull, not an awful lot happens, I was like, oh dear god, what have I done? Oh no. Next up we have The Alibi Girl. Her lies can't last forever. Joanne Haynes has a secret. That is not her real name. And there's more. Her flat isn't hers. Her cats aren't hers. Even her hair isn't really hers. Nor is she any of the other women she pretends to be. Not the best-selling romance novelist who gets her morning snack from the donut van in the seafront. Not the pregnant woman in the dental surgery. Not the chemo patient in the supermarket for whom the cashier feels ever so sorry. They're all just alibis. In fact, the only thing that's real about Joanne is that nobody can find out who she really is. But someone has got too close. It looks like her alibis have begun to run out. I think it sounds pretty interesting. I don't know what it's going to be like, but we shall see. I'm looking forward to it. I've already forgotten this lot. Oh no, I know. Finally, we have Everything is Lies by Helen Callahan. What if your parents had been lying to you since the day you were born? This cover is so shiny. Get that ASMR. No one is who you think they are. Sophia's parents lived quiet, ordinary lives. At least she thought so, until she came home to discover her mother hanged and her father in a pool of blood. Oh snap. Sophia is certain her mother didn't try to kill her father, but clearing her name will draw Sophia deep into a past she never imagined, a past that hides a dark and twisted secret. Because if everything you've been told is lies, then how dangerous is the truth? Sounds interesting. I'm interested in it. I'm very excited. So that will definitely keep me going for a long while yet, because I was running out of books to read. I also, oh, that reminds me. Seeing as I'm here talking about new books, I might as well talk about these ones as well. A few weeks ago I got another book order of 4 books. I think I sort of showed them in my readathon, in a readathon vlog. What would that be for? Was that for the Books for the Brave readathon, I think? In my reading vlog for the Books for the Brave, but I never actually talked about them. So I figured I might show them now. I might as well, since I've got my little, you can't see it, but the stack ends just here. So first up I got The Binding by Bridget Collins. That cover is so pretty. Emmett Farmer is a binder's apprentice. His job is to handcraft beautiful books, and within each to capture something unique and extraordinary. A memory. If you have something you want to forget, or a secret to hide, he can bind it, and you will never have to remember the pain it caused. In a vault under his mentor's workshop, row upon row of books and secrets are meticulously stored and recorded. Then one day Emmett makes an astonishing discovery. One of the volumes has his name on it. Ooh. I think this is so pretty. I'm excited to read this. I love a pretty book. I definitely buy books based on their cover. Then we have The Doll Factory by Elizabeth McNeil. London, 1850. On a crowded street, the doll maker Iris Whittle meets the artist Louis Frost. Louis is a pre-Raphaelite painter who yearns to have his work displayed in the Royal Academy, and he is desperate for Iris to be his model. Iris agrees on the condition that he teaches her to paint. Dreaming of freedom, Iris throws herself into this new life of art and love, unaware that she has caught the eye of the second man. Is that Silas? Silas Reed. Silas Reed is a curiosity collector, enchanted by the strange and beautiful. After seeing Iris at the site of the Great Exhibition, he finds he cannot forget her. As Iris's world expands, Silas's obsession grows. It is only a matter of time before they meet again. Different. Pretty. That is so pretty. That cover reminds me of something. I can't quite think what it is. Can you see me? Oh, you can sort of see my book pile. There it is. Then we have a book I've been wanting to read for a while, Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. I read Everything I Never Told You last year and I loved it, so I've been wanting to get this ever since, but it was never an offer. I don't buy books at full price. I buy them when they're on sale. I got this for £2 on Amazon. The rest of these I think I paid £4.50 or £4 for them, but this was £2. In the suburb of Shaker Heights, everything is meticulously planned. From the colours of the houses to the successful lives its residents will go on to lead, and no one embodies this spirit more than Elena Richardson. Mia Warren, an enigmatic artist and single mother, arrives in this idyllic bubble with her teenage daughter Pearl and rents a house from the Richardsons. Soon Mia and Pearl become more than just tenants. All four Richardson children are drawn to the alluring mother-daughter pair, but Mia carries with her a disregard for the rules threatened to upend this carefully ordered community. When the Richardsons, I'm so struggling to say that word. When the Richardsons' friends attempt to adopt a Chinese-American baby, a custody battle erupts that dramatically divides the town and puts Mia and Mrs. Richardson on opposing sides. Mrs. Richardson becomes determined to uncover the secrets in Mia's past, but her obsession will come at unexpected and devastating cost to her own family and Mia's. I'm excited to read it. So excited. That is a stack. And lastly, the last book that I got, I think I paid £4.50 for, was The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. I've been seeing this book on Instagram for months, basically. Weeks and months. It's one of those ones I was always aware of and I was unsure. I feel like the hype definitely got to me. I thought I want to read this book because everybody's talking about it, but I'm kind of concerned. I definitely feel like it's going to be one of those books that I'm probably not going to like because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a romance, but I don't know. Their friends think they're crazy, but it's the perfect solution. Leon occupies the one-bed flat while Tiffy's at work in the day, and she has the run of the place the rest of the time. But with obsessive ex-boyfriends, wrongly imprisoned brothers, and of course the fact that they still haven't met yet, it seems this flat share is more complicated than expected. I'm just really curious to see how this pans out because I just actually honestly can't imagine how that would work. Two people living together but they've never actually met. We shall see. We shall see how it goes. The hype definitely got to me with this one, so what was that noise? I'm kind of cautious of it. I feel like it's maybe not going to be my kind of style, but everybody's reading it, so I thought I'll jump on the bandwagon. And there we have it. Do you think I could lift this? Oh dear. Oh my god! Oh my god. How am I going to take a photo with this? I'm going to have to try and take a photo with this. I don't know how that's going to happen. Anyway. But anyway, so thank you so much for watching this video. Please do what you can to help out with the Black Lives Matter. Even if it's just to sign a few petitions, if you could donate a little bit of money. Even if you can't donate, just sharing petitions, sharing sites, it helps. And sharing links to where people can donate. Even if just one person clicks on it, it's still one person more. So thank you for watching, and I shall see you in my next video, whatever that may be. Bye!